I've posted videos on this topic before, but I want to give you another illustration of something that I think is very important when you're designing an Invisalign ClinCheck. As you hear the sirens in the background, maybe that's an alert to something that I think is a mistake when you're planning an Invisalign treatment. Here is a patient. You're seeing both are the same for now. I'm going to show you two versions, but this patient has forward flaring of the teeth that she's not happy with. We want to bring these teeth in. We need space to do that. There are two ways to bring teeth inward in terms of two ways to create the space, either extracting teeth or interproximal reduction, which is removing small amounts of enamel safely from teeth. Interproximal reduction would yield probably per arch safely a maximum of 4 or 5 millimeters total, whereas extractions, one per side, would yield about 16 millimeters. Now, in this case, we want to see how this would look after extraction. So the ClinCheck came back, and if you notice, there is a retraction of the teeth back into the area of the extraction. It so happens I haven't even closed the extraction space all the way, but I wanted to stop at this point. Now, when you are retracting teeth with braces or with Invisalign, what you are hoping to do is move the teeth back and prevent them from tilting or tipping back too much. So in this case, the ClinCheck mechanics is controlling that torque, and the anterior teeth, the front teeth, are moving back, and you'll see it here, in a very parallel way so that the roots are moving back at the same pace as the crowns. And if you can see this here, this way, the patient doesn't have much inward tilting of the teeth, but they have reduced the protrusion. Now, you can perhaps, as an orthodontist, program this into your force system, hoping to minimize the tipping, realizing you may not get all of this in terms of you're going to get some tipping. And if you're not following me so far, this will show you a better example. Here, I have set things up to retract the teeth in really the way they will retract, certainly with Invisalign, maybe even with braces, because even if you can maintain that angulation, at a certain point, you're not going to be able to go all the way back without having some inward tipping. Now, this is critical. At a certain point, pretend there was no extraction here. At a certain point, if you look at these front teeth, you're going to see some tilting inward of the anterior teeth. Right to here, you look here, from there. That is acceptable tipping because the teeth are already tipped forward. But at that juncture, look at how much of the extraction space we have left. And so the reason this is important is even in a case of minor flaring, whenever you're retracting teeth, you have to account for the fact that the teeth generally are going to move in a tipping fashion. And that could lead to interferences if you don't have space on the bottom. So, for example, orthodontists, if you have a class 3 patient with compensatory upper anterior flaring and you don't have space on the bottom, and the ClinCheck comes back with a retraction that is a bodily retraction that's trying to prevent the anterior prematurities, that may look good on the ClinCheck, but if the teeth really do tilt like this and the anteriors like this, then you're going to have interferences. So I'm suggesting, at least diagnostically, and perhaps if you think the case can tolerate it, to plan your ClinCheck so that you're actually planning for the tipping, if the tipping isn't going to be too much, as opposed to what we're maybe taught about overcorrecting and trying to add torque if we really don't need it. I hope this helps.